Now that we've talked a little bit about the need for accessible education, let's take a look at how we can make education and content design universal and inclusive for both disabled and non-disabled users. In creating inclusive digital spaces, we need design to be universal. But what should that look like?
So, what is universal design anyway? There was a professor named Ron Mace who passed away a few years ago. He taught at the Center for Universal Design in North Carolina. And he said that universal design is the design of products and environments to be usable by all people to the greatest extent possible, without the need for any adaptation or specialized design. So humans interact with objects every day. And all these objects fall somewhere on the spectrum of universal design, from very universal to not at all. So let's use a doorknob as a common example. Doorknobs are not really usable by children. They struggle. People with arthritis struggle to use doorknobs. And this guy. So how could we improve on this design? Well, the door lever. It's a lot better. This guy can use it now. But think about people with wheelchairs. Have you ever seen them try to go through a door? It's horrible. It's really tough for them. Or parents with baby strollers. It's really difficult, not fully accessible. So to even improve upon the door design further, the automatic sliding door was invented. This is such a universal design, it doesn't leave anyone out. Even animals can use it.
So, what are the benefits of accessibility and universal design for the broader population?
Accessible technology can make it possible to have a life full of purpose, a life that's dignified and worthwhile. But that technology you can only get if someone makes it. And if we take a look at this from a global standpoint, census data from the World Health Organization and World Bank has determined that there are more than 1 billion people on Earth with a form of disability, and more than half are physically disabled. With these numbers currently on the rise, it's estimated that more than 2 billion people will need at least one or two assistive products by 2050, which means that the potential market is a gold mine. In fact, Coherent Market Insights predicts that the assistive tech market will be worth more than $26 billion by 2024. Moreover, companies who keep people with disabilities in mind have discovered that when they focus on them, their products get better for everybody, and it can show new client bases. In fact, someone like connects a device and uses it to improve their vision. Something like that could actually improve the visions of firefighters when entering smoke-filled buildings. Now, companies should also embrace the principles of universal design, creating products and services everyone can use that are ideally universally compatible. Having such an approach can actually make more financial sense in the long run. But what you don't want is to have to retrofit for a population that you forgot about. Thanks to this sort of design and innovation, we now have an ever-expanding suite of products, from smart doorbells to smartphones to driverless cars that can be automated and controlled through voice or touch. Although these products were created to make life more convenient for everyone, they've specifically helped people with disabilities to do things on their own that would otherwise be impossible for them. Remember, convenience for you is independence for us. It took me a long time to realize that you're not limited by a disability, only by your access and finances, which is why we need companies to invest in marketing and developing new accessible technologies.
If we accept that it's beneficial to have universal design, what steps should we follow to incorporate it into our projects?
So somebody needs to be able to perceive the content. That means that that content is available to at least one of their senses. So if you have a visual impairment, can you see it because you can make it large enough? Is there good color contrast? If you're blind, does your screen reader work with the content and read it out to you? If you're deaf and there's some audio, is there a text representation that you can read instead of listen to? The other thing that needs to happen is that somebody needs to be able to operate the website or the interface. So not everybody uses a mouse. Some people may have a mobility impairment that means that they're forced to use a keyboard or may use speech recognition software. If a service doesn't work with the input device that somebody is using, they're not going to be able to go to the page that they want to go to or submit the information that they need to submit. You also need to be able to understand the content. So it's all very well you receiving that content, but if you can't understand it, then you won't be able to do what you need to do. So people have a range of cognitive abilities. Some people may struggle to read due to dyslexia, maybe on the autistic spectrum. So using things like clear and simple language that is easy to understand, making sure that interfaces are consistent and predictable are really important to making sure that somebody can understand the content and how to use your service. The last bit is that it needs to be robust, and that means that it's been built in such a way that it's compatible with the technologies that people are using. So if somebody is using a screen reader, does it work with that screen reader? If somebody is using an older browser, does it work with that older browser? If any one of those four things don't work, then somebody won't be able to have a successful interaction and complete the task that they're trying to do.
So why aren't more designs perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust? Mostly because people don't understand the need for it. Let's take a look at that.
First of all, I would say it was not widely considered in any way, shape, or form. And again, I'm reflecting my experience, which is also localized in one school district for 25 years, but also localized to Illinois. And in particular, Illinois does not promote, talk about, advocate for universal design for learning in any way, shape, or form from the state level. And I have quite a few years of experience in this field and know that other states are different. So Virginia, for example, has UDL built into state guidelines, et cetera, and they do professional development on it. So it was one of the things that I thought was very frustrating from my perspective, that there was no understanding at a district level at all about universal design for learning.
Thankfully, universal design principles are becoming more prevalent both online and in person.
The National Center for Universal Design in 2014 formally stated that these principles guide educators to allow all learners an opportunity to gain access to material. State education departments are now making explicit statements about accessibility of content by way of universal design. UDL is now being embraced far and wide, beginning as early as the P12 environment and spanning across Ivy Leagues and community colleges in higher education. But it's more than that. I have learned that increasing access and removing barriers has many more implications than simply acing a test. It shows cultural responsiveness. It shows respect. It shows empathy. It shows character.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned more about universal design.